Okay, so guys, now we're going to do day 2 of converting quadratic equations from standard form to vertex form. Okay, so guys, it's the same process today, but the only difference is that we're going to have to do a little bit of algebra in the beginning. Yesterday, all of our equations looked like this. Now we're going to get some things that look like this. What do I need to do to this equation so that it looks like the one on the left? I have to combine like terms. So that means I'm going to move this 2x to this side. And when I move it, what happens to it? The sign changes, the sign flips. So it'll be y equals x squared. I'll have a minus 2x because I moved it to the other side. I still have this minus 4x and the minus 5. And then, like you guys said, I'm going to combine like terms. So I can combine these two middle numbers. So negative 2x minus 4x is negative 6x. Everything else will just come down. So this is my equation in standard form. Now that I have it in standard form, I can now do what I learned yesterday, which is vertex form, okay? So first you have to change the equation. Now for this one, what should I do? I'm going to have to move this to this side as well. Here it's a minus 3x, so when I move it to this side, it will be a plus 3x, okay? So I'm going to have y equals 3x squared plus 3x, because I moved it and the sign changes. And then I have my minus 9x plus 4. And again, I'm going to combine the middle terms. 3x minus 9x is negative 6x. Everything else can just come down. So this is my quadratic in standard form. You just have to do a little bit of algebra in the beginning. Okay, so now that these are in standard form, we can now convert these into vertex form. Okay, so I'm just going to write this. I'm going to go to the next slide. The first one we know how to do. We did that yesterday. I'm going to do the second one. So our new equation after we rewrote it was y equals x squared minus 6x minus 5, correct? That's what we have for the second one. Okay, so now we're going to do what we did yesterday. What is my a value? 1. What's my b value? Negative 6, yes. Negative 6. And my c value? Negative 5, good. Do not leave out the negatives. The b value was a negative 6. The c value was a negative 5, okay? All right, so remember the format that we learned yesterday. H equals negative b over 2a. That is our important formula. So my b value is negative 6. I'm going to use this negative 6. So I'm going to erase b, and what am I going to put there? Negative 6. Notice I did not delete this negative. The negative from the formula stays there. So now I have 2 negatives. I'm going to erase the a value. And what do I put? 1. So I'm going to put a 1 right here. All right, so let's simplify this. 2 negatives make a positive. So this will be positive 6 over 2 times 1 is 2. And what is 6 divided by 2? 3. So h is 3. So guys, my first number in my vertex is 3. Do you guys remember how we find the second value? Plug it in. I'm going to plug it into this equation right here. So instead of an x, put parentheses. Instead of this x, put parentheses. You should not have any more x's. No more x's. What am I going to put in these parentheses? 3, what I just found. I just found out h is 3. We're going to plug that in. So put a 3 inside of this parenthesis and a 3 inside of this parenthesis. Okay? 3 squared is 9 minus 6 times 3, 18 minus 5. So you can either do this in your head or you can use a calculator. What is 9 minus 18? Negative 9, and then still you need to subtract 5. Negative 9 minus 5, negative 14. So this is negative 14. Now, the vertex, remember, this is the formula for the vertex equation. A times x minus h squared plus k. What was my a value? What did we say in the beginning my a value was? 1. So erase the a. You don't really need to put the 1, but you can put 1. What's my h value? 3. And guys, label this, please. This is h. This is k. So my h value, I'm going to put a 3. So notice, guys, whenever you put a number inside of the parentheses, the sign changes. It now looks like it's a negative 3. I'm going to erase the letter K, and what do I put there? Yep, negative 14. So this is my equation. If you want to, you can put the 1 there. You don't really need it. But if you want to, you can put the 1 right there, the a value. Okay, so my transformations, it went to the right 3, and it went down 14. Now, the only thing that's also new today, actually the only thing that's new today, is when it asks for the y-intercept. And in this box, it tells you how to find the y-intercept. What is the x value of a y-intercept? 0. This is x and this is y. So what we do is we just plug in 0 into the equation, and that'll give you the y-intercept. So my original equation is up here. I'll highlight it for us. This is my original equation. Oh, I didn't mean to cross it out. This is my original equation right up here. If I plug in zeros, if I plug in a 0 for here, what does this become? 0. It's just 0. If I plug in a 0 here, what does this become? So what am I left with? Negative 5. So when you plug in zeros, you just end up with the last number, negative 5. So the y-intercept is 0, negative 5. Okay, so I'm going to do page 18, problem 4. Go ahead, read it.
Y plus 4x 2 plus 6x equals 2x plus 18x minus 21.
Okay, so guys, this is not in standard form. Okay, so let's put it in standard form. Don't freak out. I know it looks crazy. Let's just move things, okay? Let's move this positive 4x squared over here so that it becomes a negative 4x squared. Go ahead and write that down. Let's move this 6x to this side so that it becomes a minus 6x. Okay, whenever you move stuff, the sign just changes, that's all, okay? So this is gone, I moved them. They're now on this side, they're over here. So let's write down what I'm left with. I have y equals, now guys, what is 2 minus 4? Negative 2. So this becomes negative 2x squared. We're just combining like terms. Next. What is 18? Oh, I didn't mean to cross that out. What is 18 minus 6? I'm looking at this right here. What is 18 minus 6? 12. So then this just becomes plus 12x. and then minus 21. So now your equation is in standard form. So that wasn't too difficult after all, right? Okay. All right, now you just start like usual. What's my A value? -2. So guys, I'm looking right here. My A value is -2. So for A, put -2. What's my B value? 12. And what's my C value? -21. And we just start the same process. The formula is H equals -B over 2A. And that'll give you the X value for the vertex. That'll give me my first number of my vertex. So I'm going to erase the B. Do not erase the negative. That is part of the formula. My B value is 12. So I'm going to put a 12 right there. Yes, it will become -12 now. Now I'm going to erase the A. And my A value was -2. So I'm going to put a -2 in there. So let's simplify this. I get -12 divided by, what's 2 times -2? -4. -12 divided by -4 is 3. So that is my H value. A negative divided by a negative is positive. So I found my first value. Now that I found my first value, what do I do? Plug it in. I'm going to use this simple equation. I don't want to use this monstrous one up here. Use the easy one. Don't make it hard on yourself. So I'm going to plug in a 3. So guys, look what I'm going to do. I'm going to erase this X. I'm going to erase this X. What do I put inside? 3. That's what we just found. So guys, put a 3 in right here and put a 3 in right here. There should be no more X's now. We replace them with the number 3. Okay, so guys, let's evaluate this. This is a mistake that I saw a lot of people make yesterday. A lot of people did -2 times 3 first. That's not correct. We need to do 3 squared first. You have to do the exponent first. So what is 3 squared? 9 times -2? -18. So guys, 3 squared times -2 is -18. What is 12 times 3? 36. Minus 21. And guys, you can use your calculator for this. What is -18 plus 36? It's 18. And then we're going to subtract 21. 18 minus 21 is -3. So this is what your answer is here. Your vertex is at 3, -3. Okay, now let's do the vertex form, the vertex equation. This is the formula for the vertex. A times x minus h squared plus k. And I'm just going to replace my letters. What did we say A was in the beginning? -2. Let me highlight where we got that. We got it from right up here. The A value is -2. So that's what I'm going to put in the front. -2. Okay? Everyone label the vertex. This is H. This is K. Everyone label it, please. I'm going to erase H and K and put my numbers in there. H was 3. K was -3. So I don't need this plus sign anymore. So that's my equation. Notice whenever you put a number inside of the parentheses, the sign changes. First it was a 3, now it's a -3 in there. Okay? All right, let's talk about the transformations because they're a little bit different. I have a negative in the front. Do you guys remember what that does? Reflection, thank you. The negative makes it reflect, write this down, reflect across the x-axis. That's what the negative in the front does. I'm going to highlight like the transformations for you. The negative in the front means it will reflect across the x-axis. Now, what does the 2 in the front do? Vertical stretch. So the 2 will make it a vertical stretch. So vertical stretch by 2. So that's what the number 2 does. So that goes with the 2. Okay, the next part. What does this minus 3 in here, x minus 3, what does that do? To the right 3. So that'll be right 3, and it goes down 3. Those are your transformations. Now, guys, the last thing, y-intercept. Plug in a 0. Let's see what the y value is. So, guys, going back to my original equation, if I put zeros in here, I put a 0 here, what will this part be? 0. If I put a 0 here, what will this be? 0. What am I left with? Negative 21. So your y-intercept is 0, negative 21. Okay? All right. So, guys, it's the same process as yesterday. Okay? The only thing that's new is you're going to find the y-intercept by plugging in a 0. And it's basically always the last number. Okay? Also, the other thing that's new, but you already know how to do, is just moving things over so that you can get it in standard form. Okay? So it's just a little bit more challenging today, but nothing you can't do. So I'll be walking around if you need help. All right, guys, real quick. For the practice for today, if you want to just fill out these notes, these reminders, standard form is this equation, ax squared plus bx plus c. Vertex form, just like in your notes, it looks like this. Your vertex is h and k. And the h equation to find the h value or the x value of the vertex is negative b over 2a. So these are all the formulas that we're using if you want to fill out that part of today's practice, just to have it all in one place.